Let's get it on.
Let's do it.
In Brighton, Michigan, let's get it on. Tom Beer Nuts, pound it. Let's crack it. We've been away far too long from the microphone.
Been a month.
It's been a minute. Yeah, those aren't the silvery suds either. Those are some Diet Coke.
Nice aftertaste.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the day. You can't be boozing it up right in the middle of the day.
No.
Would be.
I mean, we can. We've done it before.
It would be untoured.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're leveraging into the holidays. The football season is coming to a close. Obviously, at the professional ranks, there's a playoff hunt happening, but the college season has been decided, and that is the focus of our episode today. We're going to be debating things within the wild and woolly world of NCAA college football. And really, does the NCAA even matter at this point? Should we even be mentioning the National Collegiate Association? Because the NCAA assholes have screwed this thing up so many different ways, and we're really seeing the culmination of a series of devastating blows to what I think most people respected and loved the most about college football, the bowl season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, when you throw money at things, most of the time it doesn't work. Sometimes it does in certain businesses, but in football, it's just going to, I don't know, maybe that's just the new normal and we just have to get used to it. Maybe they're not going to be able to fix it like they think. You know, they've talked about, Congress
stepping in
and passing a bill that's going to limit or maybe.
Because Congress has been known to be the most efficient and astute body of humans.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So let's get them involved.
They can't pass an audit.
Yeah. I'm gonna go off the rails a bit here, but when you want to try to unscrew something, I don't think that you get the congressional body as the top draft pick for that series of decisions.
No, but there needs to be change. Just an unlimited pocketbook. I mean, are we going to have somebody making $100 million a year, the next Underwood that comes out, or he's going to 20, 30 mil?
So to your point,
I mean, you're almost going to make the NFL a pay cut for a lot of people. It is for
on the men's basketball side, it's 100%. Right, because there's so few spots at the NBA level, you'd be going to the G League, so it's definitely a pay cut.
Now they're saying you can go to the G League and come back. What?
And again, it is a pay cut. This has been defined. Like Bruce Pearl's Auburn team, when they're looking at going or staying, if you got eligibility left, you're staying and taking that NIL paycheck because you don't know what's sitting for you on the other side in the G League or getting cut at the NBA level. There's very few seats on the bench, and it's an international sport with Euros coming in constantly.
Yeah.
The bowl madness reset, though, has already come home to roost from a money standpoint with declines of going to bowl games.
Yeah.
Right. So you're familiar with this.
Yes.
Obviously, the big one, I'm wearing my Irish cap today to pay homage to a royal screw job that was handed out to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish with only two losses against great football teams in great football games that went right down to the wire, one-score games that were hanging in the balance on the last drive. And with those two losses, after running the table after those two, remember they went 0-2.
Yeah.
Running the table, which is always like who's playing best right now at the end of the season. Yeah. They just bone crushed everybody on the way out these last 10 games, winning some good football games, not with the strength of schedule that Alabama has. Mm-hmm. But this is where I lose my mind. Alabama lost 3 games. Your strength of schedule and your 3 losses have to be almost immaculate. Like they have to be the 3 best football teams, right? They have to be 3 teams. If you're going to get in over a 2-loss team, so hear me out. I have 3 losses. You want to put me in over a 2-loss team that had a very good schedule and played very well. For that to happen, my losses had to be against excellent football teams. Am I right?
They were.
Florida State is a losing team.
Okay, Georgia.
Okay, Georgia's a great loss. They got their
But
they got handled.
They got handled by Georgia, too.
Now, people say, well, Alabama beat them earlier in the season. Well, when it counted for the SEC championship, for the ring, when it counted, they got handled.
Yeah.
And then Oklahoma came into their building. They didn't even defend home field all season. Oklahoma came into their building and beat them. So these were not 3 great losses. There was a home loss in there. Oklahoma's a very good football team. Top 10, going to the playoff, okay? But they lost to them at home. Then they lose to Florida State at the beginning of the season, a losing football team. To me, that is not 3 losses that jumps you over a 2-loss team.
Isn't there a risk, though, to being an independent? That's the risk.
Obviously.
That's the risk. Right?
Obviously. They didn't have the lobbying power.
If you take their full strength of schedule and who they played all year, there's some gaps in there that Alabama would have never played.
And Pete Bavacqua, the athletic director, came online and pretty much said exactly what you just described. He said, really, who we're most disappointed in is the ACC, who represents us in most of our other sports other than football and hockey. So for those of you who don't know, Notre Dame is an independent only in football. In hockey, they're in the Big Ten.
Big Ten, yeah.
Okay, because obviously the SEC does not have a Division I hockey program. So the ACC, which represents them in 26, 27 other sports, went and campaigned for Miami to get in. The team that was not playing in their conference championship, but another 2-loss team, which looked very good because they had the head-to-head win over, guess who? Notre Dame. Right, they had the head-to-head win in the first game over Notre Dame. But
again, what?
And again, if you're discounting, right? So all season long, Notre Dame, since the rankings came out,
and you remember that game too, the Miami. It was the last second touchdown.
Went right down.
It was right down to the wire.
Miami played very well, but game went right down to the wire. It took everything for Miami to beat Notre Dame. And if you're looking at the first game, so if you are the person who's saying, oh, well, Alabama lost in their first game. Okay, Notre Dame lost in their first game and in their first 2. And Notre Dame's losses are better. They're better losses than losing to Florida State. They're better losses than not being able to defend your home field against Oklahoma. Like, what are we looking at here? This is Texas A&M is a top 10 team, and Miami obviously made the playoff. That's who Notre Dame lost to. So for me, Alabama getting in with 3 losses is another just the SEC, which we've said this. There's 2 conferences right now in college football.
Yeah.
Everybody else is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's the Big Ten and the SEC, and that bears itself out in this playoff.
Another thing I couldn't believe is that the players turned down a bowl game. I mean,
Thank you. Where we started this.
Yeah, but why? Why would you do that? We were both captains at Wayne State, which is way different than being a captain at Notre Dame, but it's similar.
It's the same dynamics.
It's similar.
You have the same responsibilities.
Why would you turn that down just to say F you to college football or to the why?
That is the definition of cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just made your whole program, Notre Dame, Pete Bavacqua, Freeman, you made your whole program look like the game of football is less important than your little individual pride.
And a player has more power than a university, than a head coach?
In the NIL generation.
In this world, it does. That's what's scary.
Right? Captains.
That's scary.
Decided that they didn't want to represent their university.
You know,
the Golden Dome.
You know how much money the university gets paid for a bowl game?
I'll tell you what.
And they're taking money from the university, but they're going to decide they're not going to play.
I love C.J. Carr, the young quarterback, the great Carr family, Michigan family. I really respect Coach Freeman.
Give me an argument.
But this was a bad decision.
Give me an argument that if you were a captain at Notre Dame, why? I mean, how? Why?
How about the walk-ons?
Yeah.
How about the guys or the seniors?
Yeah.
Right, who are not captain. How about the guys who are just looking at this like, look, I want to go out on my terms, right? I want to play my best football. I thought I had one game left, right? Because when you know you're putting it out there for the last time. You're lacing them up for the last time.
Yeah, you know if you're going to be an NFL football player, 99% no.
You just stole that from these people.
Yeah.
Just stole that from these people.
And the fans and your family and
the expectations not being met here and your pride being tarnished.
No, but
you'd have gone to the best bowl game. They'd have gotten the best at-large bowl game.
I didn't see it. What did the head coach say? It's their decision. I
have
haven't
not-
even seen it.
I
haven't
have
seen
not
anybody.
seen Freeman
What does the
comment on
president
this.
of the university say?
Bavak was the only one who's come out, and he's come out just basically totally focused on this being the player's decision and the debacle of the decision making. I agree with the debacle of the decision making. I agree that Notre Dame should have been in, but to take all of your toys and put them in the bag and go home and say
the prisoners are now running the prison.
it's totally true. But you go down the line, and it's more than that. Kansas State decided to decline. Iowa State, who lost Matt Campbell, who took the job at Penn State, their captains and team decided not to play in their bowl game. Like, you go down the line now, and who's playing in these bowl games? The Cure Auto Bowl is Old Dominion and South Florida. The Veterans Bowl is Troy State and Jacksonville State. Louisiana versus Delaware is the 68 Ventures Bowl. Xbox Bowl is Arkansas State versus Missouri State. Myrtle Beach Bowl is Kennesaw State and Western Michigan. Western Michigan is playing a team that I'll bet you the average person walking down the street has never heard of. Kennesaw State.
Is that the way you say it?
That is how you say Kennesaw State.
Is it?
Yeah. Actually a good school. Like,
Yeah.
they've had the business program of our entrepreneurs is like, they're not a college football school, but they have become a winning program of late.
Yeah.
If you're a really deep in the weeds college football fan, you've seen them.
Give me the argument for not wanting to go to a bowl game. Give me one.
You stumped me. That you're going to get dead
give me
air.
one. Just give me one. Yeah, give me one reason why you wouldn't want to go. Just other than to say "f you" to college football, or
I could get hurt.
Okay,
and I'm going to be a pro.
That's fine. But
right?
you've got other players.
Now, let me tell you what these players are saying. Okay, I don't agree with any of this reasoning.
Especially they're getting paid now.
The getting hurt thing is easily alleviated by the insurance programs. Right? They have insurance programs now where you can flat out get paid, and the university is willing, in most cases, to pick up the bill on those insurance, or your agent,
like
your agency.
Lloyd's of London thingy.
Exactly. They'll insure you for the injuries. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's dispel part of that one. Not in all cases, but in most cases. The other argument is I'm in the portal. And I'm going to go to the other university in January anyway. So if I'm going to the other university, I don't want to be stuck waiting on a January bowl game. I want to get over to the other university sooner during the break. These bowl games happen during the break when I'm moving into the place I'm transferring to. That's why we've screwed this thing up so bad.
That's probably what it is.
Right.
That's the only thing that makes somewhat sense to me.
I'm
right?
moving out.
I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm leaving.
I'm in the portal, which they're all in the portal now. Like, if the coach left and you ended up with a losing season,
they're in the portal.
They're in the portal.
Yeah, you got to get paid.
And this is what they're arguing about. Or they're in negotiations. Remember, in all these weird negotiations for NIL, in some cases, it was just for your regular season because the bowl game is an if.
Oh, so they don't get paid.
So they don't get paid either for these games. So now they got to
It's not making sense to me completely, but...
So some of these contracts.
That's a flaw in design. They should have, Some of these contracts just said, hey, it's the regular season because bowl games are never guaranteed as an outcome of the season, right? So now you got payment, NIL, and portal coming back to haunt the bowl games. So it's just NIL. It's essentially NIL issues.
In this new generation, I mean, you look at these games. I mean, Ole Miss...
unintended consequences, huh?
I'm looking at it, right? The Idaho famous Potato Bowl is Washington State and Utah State. At least I've heard of those teams. Boca Raton.
But they're horrible. Did they even Washington State? Did they?
They had
6 wins.
Remember, they're in the non Pac-10. Remember, it's just them. and Oregon State, the two teams that.
That's right.
Yeah. So they're the two floaters. Western Kentucky plays Southern Miss in the New Orleans Bowl. I mean, you know who the big winner of this is? One of the big winners is Keith Stone, great entrepreneur who started the Game Above game, which is the Ford Field, replaced the the Tire Bowl or whatever they used to call it. But they've done an amazing job with this new Detroit Bowl game, this Ford Field Bowl game, the Game Above. And that is going to be Central Michigan versus Northwestern.
Okay.
Good draw, right? You'll get the folks coming in from Chicago to see Northwestern. You'll get the CMU people coming down from Mount Pleasant. CMU, great football tradition. They end up with a great bowl game. In years past, they've ended up with this, weird hodgepodge, right? But, some of these forward thinkers are actually putting bowl games together that are nice games. Pitt plays East Carolina in the Military Bowl. Okay. Clemson and Penn State. I mean, there's two blue blood programs that have fallen on tougher times. That'll be the Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium. I was going to run all these down and do picks. It's such a shit show.
I mean, who's staying and who's playing, who's out.
How can you even do BYU plays Georgia Tech? That's going to be a very good game. That's the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That's the one that people thought that Notre Dame or somebody like that would be in. Yeah. But when I go down the line, Missouri plays Virginia in the Gator Bowl. That's a good one. LSU plays Houston in the Texas Bowl. That'll get a good draw.
Those bowls are so much fun, though. Obviously, we never got to play in a bowl.
Right.
But you see all the videos, and they all go bowling, and they hang out together. And I'm sure they look back at those bowls when they're our age and say, I should have played.
So let's get in one little segment here, since you said when we played, we did not get a chance to go to a bowl. When I was a broadcaster with Wayne State and helping out the program under Paul Winters, we did get to go to the playoffs, which is where we won the region, and then Wayne State lost in the championship game.
I was at them.
You were there.
Yep.
You went on that playoff run. Most of the alumni did follow us over these last 15 years. Okay, and I'm talking about the 15 years leading up to the last 3 under the current regime. Okay, the current athletic department and football coaching staff. Wayne State was a 500 club, averaging 5.5-ish wins.
At best.
Okay. No, that is the average. That's the actual average.
In the last 15 years?
Yeah, well, the 15 years before this recent debacle. Okay. So Wayne State has never been a titan of the gridiron.
No.
But a program that at different points has had ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, but 5.5 wins over the course of 15 seasons leading up to this regime, you could live with that as respectable. And I think Paul Winters ran a respectable program that did the right things. I'm sure people will debate that. The end of this was the hiring, to some controversy, over Tyrone Wheatley, an outstanding football player who played for the University of Michigan, was a local hometown hero, probably top 5. In my lifetime, I would say number 1
high school player
that I've ever seen.
Me too.
Okay, the best high school player that I have ever seen with my own eyes. Now, I think anybody would put him in the top 5, no matter what era you're in. Playing has not translated. A success on the field as a player has not translated to success as a head coach. He went to Morgan State first after being a position coach, won 3 games in his first season. There was a COVID season, 0-0, which is actually his best record of all time, his 0-0 season, where it's 500 because they didn't play. And then they lost more games in their second season. I think they only won 2 games in the second season, and he was dismissed from Oregon State. So after being dismissed from Oregon State and after Wayne State losing Coach Winters and then going through a very suspect hiring process where they may or may not have overlooked some very good candidates, like the one who's taking Grand Valley State to the playoffs, Coach Scott Wooster, on multiple occasions. He felt that his interview was, let's just call it, less than professional, that they end up choosing Tyrone Wheatley for this job.
Did they interview him?
Yeah. Like Zoom interview. This is when they had a legitimate shot to get Wooster, the coordinator, to be the head coach of Wayne State.
Oh, that's
a former Wayne
That's
State
right,
player,
that's
who has led a dominant program,
Yeah.
okay, into the future, which looks very bright for them.
And is a phenomenal guy.
Great
guy.
human being,
Yeah.
right? So pass over him, go with Tyrone Wheatley. There's pluses to Tyrone Wheatley at that moment in time, right? Recruiting,
Sure.
big name, local hero, all those things did not happen, have not happened. It has not translated into recruiting players. It has not translated into recruiting coaches. It has not translated into winning football games, the X's and O's. Yeah. It is evident to everyone who has watched football for any period of time that this is working out very poorly in all aspects of running a football program. So what has happened is they won 3 games in his first season. They won 2 games in his second season. They won 0 games, 0-11 in his third season, in which only 2 of the games were even in question in the second half of the game. Blown out.
The 2 or 3 games I went to over the 3 years, I left at the end of the first quarter. Because it was 20-0.
And you were disgusted.
It was just horrible football.
Everybody has the same evaluation of this.
Yeah.
All 3 years, even when they were winning 3 and 2 games, there were chinks in the armor. There were things going on in the program that didn't jive. They have flushed the coaching staff. But I want to be very clear about this because we're sending this segment of GOATQuest to the Board of Governors at Wayne State. This segment is going to them. I want Wayne State University to understand something. In the history of college football, and for that matter, sports at the collegiate level, no coach in the history of athletics has lost more games every season for 3 seasons in a 3-year contract and retained their job with a 0-win season in the 3rd year. They are creating a first in the history of sports.
I even remember when we were there, it was just so difficult to get things done or to change anything from, I don't know.
A bureaucratic standpoint?
Yeah, just a bureaucratic standpoint. Like for instance, why would you keep Tyrone Wheatley and fire the entire staff?
And
to save $225,000. Right. I mean, what's the revenue of Wayne State? It's
35,000 students. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's crazy. Even when we bring in new people, for instance, I don't think it's the athletic director. I think it's higher. It just has to be because it's been such a shit show for 30 years since we've been there. 35 years.
Personally, I like Erica Wallace, the athletic director.
I've never met her. Never met her.
I think this is a catastrophic decision for her career.
I mean, how can just little things, and I don't want to get into it. We could go into all kinds. How can you be a captain at Wayne State and not have 2 tickets for every game?
Yeah.
That's going to hurt the program by getting ex-captains down there to support the program and talk to the kids and raise money, whatever that is. Nobody wants to go. It's not like we can't afford a $10 ticket. What are they, $20? I don't even know what they are. It's not the point.
Like it or not, the football program, from a revenue standpoint, at every university that has athletics, is the signal and the flag bearer from a revenue standpoint of the collegiate athletic experience. The football program has the largest stadium. You put people in the seats. It drives the most revenue.
Yeah.
Yes, men's basketball and women's basketball have had a moment, and there's some revenue there as well. But this is your opportunity. Your football program, being on television, on these streaming networks, being on the radio, people listening, having large alumni associations. You go back through the eras, which you and I have had an opportunity to meet some of the great local businessmen that were players at Wayne State, that are alums, that are fiercely devoted to being Wayne State Tartar, now Warrior fans. This is just eating them alive. When you talk to them, they're just like, how can this be allowed to happen? How can we renew? And Tyrone Wheatley, who I believe, again, I've met Tyrone Wheatley. I think he's a good human being. He's a great family man. Pay the man his money and send him on his way amicably. pay the man his money. This is a contract. You don't want other coaches to look at the job as a job that doesn't honor their contracts. But Tyrone Wheatley should resign. He should resign and he should move on and pick another, and we should pay him a portion of the salary, whatever an amicable settlement is, and both parties should move on amicably. That is the professional way to do business in America. Look at every program at every level that's doing it this way.
Just as I sit here, I truly don't think it's Tyrone Wheatley's fault. Do I think he's a great coach? No. But we've been saying the same thing for 30 years, Joe, and nothing changes.
You mean at the higher level, about the professionalism?
The higher level. I'm not talking about athletic director. I'm talking about the next level. I'm talking about whatever that is, the board of directors or whatever they call that. Something has to be happening there. That's the issue. Because
we have a media market. We're the only college sports in the city of... I mean, U of D has just hoops.
Dude, we can't get guys to stay in Detroit. We can't get guys to stay in Detroit. It's been the same problem for 35 years. We can't do it. Can't Tyrone Wheatley.
Dear Board of Governors, you have the only college football program in a major metropolitan area. You got to go out to Ypsilanti, out to Ann Arbor, in the city of Detroit. You have one college football program, and that college football program is on life support.
Yeah.
Because of poor decisions consistently made. And now Tyrone Wheatley is going to get a raise, Tom Beer. He's going to get $5,000 raise, okay, for losing every football game and purging all the former All-Americans and former players that were coaches out of the program. And now to make us a complete laughingstock, they have put out a want ad for a defensive coordinator.
Which is crazy.
No internal discussion because nobody wants the job. Nobody who Coach Wheatley trusts that he's played with in the NFL, in college, that he's coached with in multiple programs, nobody that you could reach out to wants the job. You had to put out a want ad on coaching websites to get a defensive coordinator. It makes my head want to explode.
Yeah, normally they're waiting for an opportunity to be a D coordinator at a Division II school. Yeah.
Chomping at the bit.
Yep.
Is what you would have said in most cases.
Yeah.
So that's the state. So our feeling is, you tell me what should Wayne State do at this moment in time during this offseason to right this wrong of renewing this? I mean, short of just firing everybody. I mean, they could just clean house, save a lot of money, and rebuild the athletic department.
I think it starts at the top, and it's the same thing. Look at the Lions. Look at the Lions when Sheila Hemp-Ford came in and changed things around and got more involved and brought in the right people and spent the money and did things right. And Wayne State has never done that. They just have never done that. We've always had the shittiest locker room, and the field now is okay, but just the money that was put into the program.
The Board of Governors meets this month.
That's it. I think that's the issue.
We're sending this recording to them. They meet this month. We're going to send this segment to them.
What do we care? What do we care? They don't give a shit about us.
Well, I think if it gets loud enough.
Really?
And if I have heard that there are publications that are going to be running stories about this debacle. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But I think that, in the immortal words of Teddy KGB from the movie Rounders, pay this man his money and let's move on, Wayne State.
Yeah.
All right. Bowls. Now we got to get into the playoff. So college football playoff, Thomas. We open on Friday, December 19th. Okay. So we're opening with an 8 p.m. game, and it's time. To put it on, the new headdress, the Oklahoma Sooners, my Oklahoma Sooners will be trying to beat the Alabama Crimson Tide for the second time in a season after they smoked them on their own field.
I'm not really sure why they're yours. Why are they yours? Just because you've always liked them?
Because I've always rooted for the Sooners.
Why?
Steve Owens, Billy Sims,
Yeah.
Barry Switzer, Brian Bosworth. Do I have to go on?
No,
National championships.
no, but-
Josh Heupel crushing Florida State in the first national championship of the millennia in 2000. 12-0, undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
Jamel Holloway, shake
Okay.
and bake.
Yeah, but you've never been. Have you been to a game?
I have.
Have you?
Many.
Okay.
Yes. Owen Field.
Okay.
Go get a cheeseburger at O'Connell's from around the corner.
Oh,
Then you go to the game.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Yes. So Oklahoma, obviously, you know who I'm picking in that game. You think the Crimson Tide can come to Oklahoma and do what Oklahoma did to them in Alabama?
Absolutely. I mean, after last week and watching the Georgia game, Alabama underwhelmed. Underwhelmed all the way from defense.
So who do you
special teams. I like Oklahoma, but can
Why? Because of Brent Venables, the defensive core. You give him this much time. You remember what those Clemson defenses did to people?
I just think they have better players. You know what I think about all this coaching stuff. I think it's overrated. And back to Tyrone Wheatley. He's got nothing.
Well, he needs to recruit something. He's had 3 years to do something.
I know, but
I don't want no excuse. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Brent Venables and his defense over Oklahoma. We agree on that one. And we need John Mateer, the quarterback, to play a little better than he did against Oklahoma. Or play a little better than he did against Alabama last time. That's what made that game close. All right, so K-State and Iowa State, we talked about them. They're out. Their teams, their captains decided not to play at all in a bowl game. Same thing with Notre Dame. That takes us to Saturday, December 20th, where we have Texas A&M, number 7, against one of the controversial teams, the Miami Hurricanes, at noon in College Station in East Texas. Can Reed get it done? Can Coach Elko and his big contract get it done with home field advantage?
I don't know. I have mixed.
Is Carson Beck on a heater?
I have mixed feelings about Miami. Sometimes I watch them and they look like one of the best teams in the nation. And other times I watch them and they're just can't put it together. I don't know what it is.
I think it's a skull-thumping blowout in Texas. I think Texas A&M is going to roll up. I think they're going to have heavy heat on Beck from the first whistle to the last whistle. I think they win this game by 20 points.
I think so, too. I like that, too. I just think Beck has just been too inconsistent.
Yeah, give the points at Kyle Field. The next one later that day, also on the 20th, 3:30 start, is Ole Miss versus Group of 5, All-American champion from the great state of Louisiana, the Nolans boys from Tulane. Do they have a chance?
No, I don't think so.
Chambliss is good.
I think Chambliss
the
is
Ferris
really
State
good.
boy.
I like it when he's getting all the hype and he steps right back up and has a great game after getting the hype for, the first couple weeks. He didn't falter.
Yes. Right? Oxford, Mississippi, though, getting a playoff game. First, it's going to be nutty.
The line going to be 14? It's got to be. Got to be double.
Got to be 10.
Got to be double digits.
Got to be 10. I would say if I was a betting man, I'd say you'd have to give Tulane 12 to make me start thinking about it.
Yeah. Tulane's good, but have you seen them play that much?
I do. I do catch them on the weird channels because they're playing at weird times. So I have seen Tulane, but they got Retzloff, the quarterback from BYU, transferred there. So, they got some high cap, but it's in the trenches, brother.
Yeah.
The SEC in the trenches.
They're just too big. They're just too big.
You got to have so many things go right and nothing go wrong.
Yeah.
To win that game.
Yeah, and I don't they're just going to run the ball. And
I don't like those odds.
No.
The last game of the evening on December 20th is the number 5 Oregon Ducks, Outson Stadium in Eugene, against number 24 James Madison, which is...
What's that line going to be?
100.
20?
100. Dante Moore, the quarterback from Detroit, the young man leading the Oregon Ducks. They're really loaded. This is a sleeper team. When you look at, nobody's talking about Oregon. They lost that game to Indiana. That's the only game they lost. And Indiana has proven that they are fully legit, undefeated, only undefeated team. So I think Oregon's a big-time sleeper. I think they will put on a smoke show. This one is embarrassing. This one is in the 40s. For Oregon, they might catch 50. They might, as Barry Switzer loved to say, they might hit half 100 on them. And James Madison's gonna have a difficult time scoring. Yeah, I think so this is like 48-14.
Really?
48-10. I'm giving the points.
Yeah, I guess I should have looked up the points. I have no idea what the spreads are.
I don't have the spread on that one either. We'll revisit that. All right. But that will lead, those 4 games will lead to a second series of games, which will be against the teams that are lying in wait. Ohio State is lying in wait for the winner of Texas A&M and Miami. They will get the winner of that game. That game will be the Cotton Bowl in Arlington, Texas. Okay, that's the AT&T Jerry World Bowl. And that is on Christmas Eve. Or, I'm sorry, New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Then we go January 1st, the traditional New Year's Day, which launches at noon, big noon Thursday on January 1st. Texas Tech, another nice darling out of the Big 12. They will roll up their sleeves, and they will play the Oregon James Madison winner. So we're thinking that's Oregon, Texas Tech. Golly, that's a football game.
Yeah.
I like that one. I mean, that might be the game of the year. Those are the 2 sleepers facing off to be the darling of the dance. And then Indiana lies in wait for the winner of Oklahoma, Alabama. Oklahoma and Alabama with their defenses against Indiana, that's going to be a close game. Indiana's not going to open it up as they couldn't against Ohio State. Nip and tuck game. Both Oklahoma and Alabama will have the same answer for Indiana. That's going to be a very close football game.
Yeah, I mean, just watching Indiana in their defense and their discipline and their gap protection, right?
Is Tom Beer willing to give credit to a coaching staff for what they've done in Indiana? Sig Nasty?
Just so we're really clear, there isn't a coach that plays.
No, there is not.
No, but there's a coach that gets you in the right position to make plays
and makes a significant impact on the nature of the play.
Hey, I always, even my son watches this and gives me crap about, coaching doesn't matter. Coaching matters, but not if you've got a badass player.
Signetti is a dude. All right. He came into Indiana. They had nothing. The cupboards were bare.
It's his culture. The culture
he brought a new culture. He reloaded with those JMU kids.
I loved it when he talked and he was like, you know what? The hard thing is keeping my trainers on point, keeping my coaches on point, keeping my people in the equipment room on point, making sure they're getting their shit done. I'm running a business.
That's right.
That's what he's good at.
Yes. And he keeps that consistent tenor.
Humble.
Right?
Humble.
Of all things being serious business.
Yep.
Right? That's where you don't get the letdown game. The reason why Indiana doesn't have the letdown game against Purdue or Northwestern is because of that consistency.
The consistency of messaging.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I just absolutely love what
when,
they've done
when we played Van Gorder.
Yeah.
If I give him one thing that I remember was his consistency of every day being a hard ass
and being able to grind. Everybody's got to get up and grind.
Yep.
And that's what's happening in Indiana for sure. So I think that's the Rose Bowl in Pasadena at 4 p.m. on New Year's Day. The last one that we will discuss, because we're going to have an episode before where we really get to maneuver these picks. We will have the Georgia Bulldogs playing the winner of Ole Miss Tulane. So we believe that is a SEC clash, rematch, Georgia, Ole Miss. Who do you like?
How do you like anyone against Georgia? I mean, that's just the way they played against Alabama.
You like that Gunner Stockton,
don't
you?
I love that
tough
Gunner
kid.
Stockton, tough kid, great running backs, receivers. Their defense played well. I think that Georgia's going to win it all, but,
Georgia to win it all. That's the Sugar Bowl.
Yep.
It's in Louisiana, in Caesars Superdome at 8 p.m. I am going to go with our Ferris State boy. I think Ole Miss is going to beat Tulane, and then I think Ole Miss in the rematch shocks the world. Kiffinless. A Kiffinless ball club goes in to Nollins and comes out of the quarterfinal.
How can they win without Kiffin? Got good players?
Yeah, they got pretty good players.
Yeah.
They got players. I like their players.
Okay.
That's who I like. So that rounds it out, which takes us into the list of best performances. The best bowl performances of all time. Okay, give me your Mount Rushmore.
Well, I'll start with number 7 on my list was Lamar Jackson in the Music City Bowl. God, how many years ago was that already?
Oh, my goodness.
Like 12 years ago.
That was the Louisville Cardinals.
453 total yards, 227 pass, 226 rush, 4 touchdowns.
Ooh.
God.
You know, the only one that...
And I remember thinking, that guy's not going to be a good NFL quarterback.
Yeah, everybody,
right?
Everybody, he runs too many, he's going to get hurt.
He's going to get hurt.
He's going to get smoked.
And he has, but not really.
They said the same thing about Vince Young and Tim Tebow, which pretty much proved to be true with Vince Young. I mean, Vince Young had the amazing 2006 Rose Bowl game. Tebow had the 2010 Sugar Bowl game.
I think my best was Vince Young. Something about
that game was amazing.
At the end of the game, all the stuff that was in the air. It was magical.
And you love beating U.S.
And I remember this. I was on a plane back when you couldn't get like game scores on a plane. We took off, and I bet Texas, obviously.
Yeah.
And we landed, and I saw it come up, and I can't remember what it was, but it was Vince Young with all that shit in the air, flying all over.
And you won
And I won my bet.
So it made it even more poignant.
Yeah.
When you beat at that moment in time, Southern Cal was like Ohio State is right now, right? At the top every year, at the pinnacle. People saying that they were paying their players. People saying that there was all kinds.
And they
of
were. They all were.
And, right. So similar to the Ohio State worldview, you loved seeing USC get beat at that moment by Texas, regardless of. And I'm obviously not a Texas fan by any stretch, but I liked.
I mean, how many NFL players did they have in that team? USC probably 20.
Loaded.
Yeah, just
loaded.
20.
Because you brought up Lamar Jackson, the greatest running quarterback game that I have ever seen in my life was the 2013 Cotton Bowl. Johnny Manziel rushed for 229 yards. He rushed for 229 yards,
and he had 287 passing.
It's just it's a video game.
How can that guy just be a total dud in the NFL? Just maybe drugs, or he's just fucked up.
Yes. You got another one because it's going to be yes.
You can be that good in the people that he was playing in the top division in football.
Couldn't find his ass with both hands when he got that fat dollar bill and
just went to Vegas. Fucking.
And the funny thing is like money was not new to him. He came from cash.
No. Did you ever see?
This was just like unlimited, ungoverned money that became the.
Have you seen the special on him?
Yeah.
When he said his dad came in and said, "Give me the money."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane game, though.
I guess it's better to have some type of NIL that we have now than have that, like cash under the table. Maybe not. Who knows? Shit, I don't know, because not everybody got paid.
Not everybody, but
and that's the way life is. Not everybody gets paid.
Everybody that Barry Switzer liked at Oklahoma in the 80s got paid.
Yeah.
They got a job. They got a very special job.
They got paid.
Where you only had to show up once in a while and you got paid the full boat. All right?
Yeah.
Because that's how we do it. How about Stanford? How about McCaffrey? The 2016 Rose Bowl. You got that on your list?
I do not.
For a running back. Okay, so these
I got Barry on here.
Rose Bowl records. McCaffrey rushed for 172, caught 4 passes for 105. That's 368 all-purpose yards for Stanford, right? Like, again, sometimes it's the underdog play that pops up and also makes the game memorable for you. But for Stanford to win the Rose Bowl and for McCaffrey, like, it kind of said to the world, look, this kid is fully legit. Like what we're seeing him do in the NFL was predictable based on how he did it against the best competition in college.
Like Johnny Manziel?
Well, I'm just saying
that's my point. I had that feeling too.
Let's just put it out there. Let's just put it out there.
When Cleveland picked him, I was like, this is going to be awesome.
Let's just put it out there and let people comment on this being an uncouth statement. The same struggles that African-American quarterbacks have dealt with up until very recently, as far as the way that they are viewed, is how the white running back gets viewed, even amongst NFL circles. I mean, I'm sure you talk to coaches that were like, we ain't taking a white running back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, DB, same way. Jason Sehorn, Cooper. Yeah. Why did Cooper DeJean fall in the draft? Why didn't we take him where we should have taken him? There is a little stigma on the white DB, white running back, similar to the way that the stigma used to be for the African-American quarterback. And, you can say that it's true. If you talk to coaches, it's just true.
Yeah.
Right? So for McCaffrey to do what he's done as a pro, that's what I'm saying, is that it was the signal that, look, this kid can do it at any level against any competition.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but, look at Lamar Jackson. I said he's not going to be able to run like that in the NFL.
He can.
Yeah, he is.
And he can throw it.
And he can throw it. Yeah.
Big games, I think, because of the way Tua Tagovailoa became the quarterback of that Alabama team with Jalen Hurts and the way
he came in at halftime. Wasn't it halftime?
Yeah, came in. Halftime. Saban pulled the trigger. It's it's like these great, because people always compare, and they're also friends, Saban and Belichick, right? These guys get.
Old school.
He's the GOAT pro coach, and he's the GOAT college coach. Although I'm going to debate the pro one, since all he's ever done is with Tom Brady on Belichick's side. He really hasn't won anything without Tom Brady. So when Tua gets replaced at halftime, it's almost like the Belichick version of, I'm going to stick with Tom Brady instead of Drew Bledsoe when Bledsoe got healthy, right? It's that Saban's moment where he gives Tua the reins, and then he goes on in that 2018 CFP championship game.
If you look at all this football we're talking about, it's all recruiting. It's all recruiting.
No, there's a tremendous amount of coaching that goes into this. Just and I'll give you another snapshot of that.
Okay.
Because the greatest quarterback performance that I've ever seen in a bowl game was it was the Peach Bowl national championship game of 2020. Was Joe Burrow for Louisiana State.
Yeah, and he was on 4 different teams in 4 years or something like that, wasn't he?
But with that Brady, it's Joe Brady's his name, right? The guy who's that offensive coordinator of that team. When he got in that LSU offense after toiling away at Ohio State and other places, that Ohio State offense, the coaching and the guidance that he had there, and I'm just going to run this down for you because it still blows my mind. He went 31 of 49 for 5 touchdown passes in that game. He threw for 463 yards, and there were 0 picks. And that was an absolute drubbing of my Oklahoma Sooners.
And he had 58 rushing yards. Did you see that?
Yeah. I mean, talk about doing whatever you want to do on the biggest stage at the biggest moment against what's supposed to be the second best team in the country. That's just utter domination. So I put, obviously, Joe Burrow at the top of my list. I know some people, the debate, and tell me if this is on your, would be the Stetson Bennett game for Georgia. I don't know if you had him
on my list.
That's the 2023 CFP championship game. Again, he has an amazing 18 of 25, 304 yards. Again, 4 touchdowns and no picks. But he rushed for 39 yards and scored 2 touchdowns on the ground. So 6 touchdowns accounted for in the game. And there's a few of those guys who have, like, Bobby Lane. We're always trying to get rid of the curse of Bobby Lane, right? The 1945 Cotton Bowl.
I think we've got rid of that shit in Detroit.
It's still, we haven't won.
Huh?
We have. He said
we haven't won the Super Bowl.
He said you'll never win a championship game again after you cut me.
We won the
after you trade me.
We won the NFC North.
We didn't win the championship. We did not win the Super Bowl.
We've won the NFC North.
We did not win the NFL championship.
Everybody said that we'll never win the NFC North, and then we won.
Well, we have not won a championship game since Bobby Lane, so the curse exists. Bobby Lane, 1945 Cotton Bowl. I think they won the game 40-20 something. He accounted for every point. He kicked all the extra points. He either threw or ran for all the touchdowns, and that'll never be done again. You'll never. I mean, because
you could have been one of those guys.
No, I can't.
That kicked and shit.
I could have kicked.
You could have kicked.
I could have got. I could have got 2 out of 3 extra points.
You could have played offensive guard for sure.
That's a weight limit, right? In the CYO, that is a weight limit factor. All right. So who's your best? Was Lamar your best?
No. Vince Young was my best.
Vince Young is your number one.
Yeah, something about that game, and he had 467 total yards, 267 passing, 200 rushing. 3 touchdowns.
In honor of Notre Dame being held out
Held out. They backed out.
Held out of
Oh,
the playoffs.
yeah.
I'm going to go with my final one. A member of the Four Horsemen, Elmer Layden. I had to look this guy up, and I like to give you a little history
I
when
know
we
you
close
do.
it
I
out,
know.
right? A member of the Four Horsemen in 1925's Rose Bowl. We're going back a piece. 100 years ago.
Wow.
1 century ago, ladies and gentlemen, in a 27-10 victory over Stanford. Little reset with Christian McCaffrey there. Layden returned an interception, 78 yards for a touchdown in the second quarter. Returned another one, 70 yards in the fourth quarter.
They threw the ball back then?
No, yeah, he took 2 picks to the house, so they didn't throw it very well. And then he ran touchdowns in, had like all the tackles in the game. He had a 80-yard punt. He also was the punter.
Oh, God.
He had a record 80-yard punt in the contest for Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, who went to their bowl game, didn't back out and run chicken to the NIL portal, and played in the Rose Bowl as champions from South Bend. It's a sad day, my friend Tom Beer, when college football captains get together and decide they're not going to play football on a free vacation
Makes no sense.
to Florida.
Makes no sense. Not when we're sitting here at 50-some years old, but
I'm giving you this gift, number one, the Join Health. They're the de facto sponsor of this because the reason why we've had a little delay in podcasts is because we've been cranking it up at Join Health.
beautiful.
Getting the company rolling. Tom Beer.
I'll get you my
Yeah, if you know any physicians
no.
need help,
I got to get you
send
my
me some
info
docs.
so that I can get a paycheck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This
Paycheck. Yeah.
I need your.
Is this it?
Yeah, I need
This is it?
I think it's an I-9 and some
Yeah,
other tax form.
W-9.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
W-9, I-9. I'll get this stuff.
I know you will.
Yeah, I'm new to this. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we cheers one last time, as we roll into the holidays with college football, gurgle, gurgle, go out there into the world and be the GOAT. Be the greatest of all time at whatever it is that you're doing today.